Come on into the well life. Got a wonderful recipe inspired by Danni Rose. Thank you, girl. This is going to be, though, a few substitutes because y'all know how I roll. So I am frying with grape seed oil. I have my sliced peaches in natural syrup, coconut sugar and brown sugar I'm using, ground cinnamon, good old buttermilk biscuits, and then my butter sticks salted. Now, real quick, just want you to pay attention to this. The smoke point for the grapeseed oil, and it's gluten free. All right, so I'm starting with 2 sticks of my salted butter first, putting those in a cast iron skillet. I do believe that the cast iron skillet is necessary because we're going to brown the butter, and it's a little past medium temperature for my particular stove. So we're going to just allow that to brown, and you want to look for that frothiness. You want to look for the butter to begin to froth. 2 containers of peaches that I've added, and then I'm going to stir that about a little bit like that there. Stir that, you see now it's coming to a nice little boil and frothiness. That is exactly 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm not using granulated sugar in this. My whole spiel is eating healthy and enjoying the taste. So instead of the granulated sugar, about 3/4, I'm going to use coconut sugar. Listen, y'all, it does not lose taste. Non-GMO. Sprinkle about that there. Now, I don't always measure, but of course, for sharing recipes, you'll see exact measurements in the description. And then you dash some cinnamon around and around and around like so. The peaches are going to create a nice syrup, their own syrup. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And then just stir evenly and consistently. There it is. Yes. All right, now watch this, y'all. Woo! You're going to see that natural syrup quality as everything comes together, and all of those flavors and seasonings. Yes. So that's one of the cues, visual cues, in letting you know. And you also see the change in the color of the peaches. All right, just a good old traditional buttermilk, not flaky though. Regular buttermilk biscuits. So what I want to do, however, is take each one and peel them open so you can create 2 out of 1. It's going to peel. It kind of has that natural peel in the middle of each biscuit, and I'm taking each one and I'm going to do that. I won't show all of that for the sake of video and time, but in essence, take your whole can. And then here's my grapeseed oil. 4 cups of grapeseed oil. You do want to have your heat high enough for frying. It actually reminded me of our old school hot water cornbread, the water. Now, as you see, I'm flattening them out because we're making almost kind of like fried biscuits. This is the substitute for the cobbler because this recipe, y'all, is so simple and so easy. You can do this really in like 15-20 minutes. Take all of your halves, then we'll submerge it in the grapeseed oil, and as you see, it fries just as fairly. We do not do vegetable oil, people. That's not what the well life is about. We are about health and hormones, taking care of our bodies from the inside out. This fries just fine. And the biscuits are going to float to the top, as you see. Once the heat rises, the biscuits float to the top. It doesn't take them very long to brown, about 2 to 3 minutes. And then you take your tongs and you flip them over. See how it kind of reminds you of hot water cornbread? Those of you who know about it. If you don't, you gotta get your life. Yes. So just flip those over. You do have to watch them. You hear my dog in the background. Because they brown really quickly. It doesn't take very long for a nice thorough browning of your biscuits. Typically, we don't want to crowd them, but these can fry safely with several in at a time. Remove them like so. See how simple this recipe is? It's a really quick way to enjoy another version of peach cobbler if you don't feel like putting in all of the elbow work. Really, really easy. Whoops. Where you going? Come here. Come here. I'm going to flip that one over because I want to brown it a little bit more. And let's speed this up. Let's add in a few more. Yes. We're going to speed up the reel, but I served, how many people? 7? My family, that is. COVID safe at the time of this video. So I did quite a few. I did a full can of biscuits and divided each one in half. All right, let's move on. Pretty much now it's time to serve. So I'm working on my plating. And just so that there's a nice wet, juicy base, I'm putting a little bit of the cobbler juice, those peaches, that natural syrup that crystallized and formed its own juice at the base of these bowls. And then after that comes the cobbler biscuits. I flatten them out, and you basically can layer them however you want. You can stack them actually if you want to. Look how golden and crispy they are. Flatten them out because watch how they rise. Oh, yeah. So now I'm going to just serve the peaches on top of the cobbler biscuits, the fried biscuits. You see that syrup adding just another layer of flavor. And you cannot complete this recipe without the next ingredient. Let's make sure those peaches are on there nice and layered. You cannot complete it without dairy-free ice cream, honey. You must have your scoops of ice cream, good people. I'm from the South. Ice cream goes with every dessert. Oh, that looks so great. And then, of course, a little bit of the peach gravy, juicy syrup on top. Some people like to add powdered sugar. I think I've done enough. I don't want to add powdered sugar to mine, but I am going to add a little bit of mint to garnish and top it off. And voila, there we go. And yes, it is as good as it looks. We have cut out over 55 grams of sugar with our substitutes. Enjoy. Oh, and be sure to subscribe and send your comments.